Hello and welcome to Tribe Topper. In this video session, you are going to learn about Newton's law of gravitation. So Newton's law of gravitation tells us that all the bodies in this universe, every body, it interacts with the other body. And so the law is stated as that every particle attracts every other particle in the universe with a force which is directly proportional to the product of the masses and inversely proportional to the square of distance between them. So Newton said that if these are the two bodies, that is m1 and with another one as a mass m2, and r is the distance between them, then these two bodies, they attract each other with the force F, which is directly proportional to the product of masses, so m1 m2, and it is inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them, so it is inversely proportional to r square. So when you combine these two, it becomes that therefore F is proportional to m1 m2 by r square. And if we remove the proportionality sign, and as we always add a constant, we get F is equal to G m1 m2 by r square. So this is the expression for the force of gravitation between two bodies of masses m1 and m2 separated by a distance r, and where this G, we call it as the universal gravitational constant. The reason we call it as universal gravitational constant is that its value remains constant throughout the universe. It doesn't change from place to place or from planet to planet. You go to any place in this universe, the value of G is fixed, and that value is 6.67 times 10 to the power negative 11 Newton meter square per kg square. Now, since the laws that depend on 1 by r square, that means which vary inversely as r square, means inversely as the square of distance, they are said to be as inverse square laws. So that means the gravitational force is an inverse square force. So it varies inversely as square of distance. So if the distance between the two masses is doubled and you do not change the masses, so without changing the mass, then the force between the masses goes down to 1/4 of its original value, because if original force is F, which was G m1 m2 by r square, if the same two masses, you find out the new force between the same two masses by doubling the distance. So that means your r has now become 2r. So square it up, you are going to get 1 by 4 times G m1 m2 by r square, which means that the new force is 1/4 of the original force. So you cube the distance, you make the distance 3 times, the distance would become the force would become 1 by 9, right? So this was universal law of gravitation, and that's all for this video session. In the next video session, you are going to learn about the gravitational field. Thank you.